What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be giving you guys my trade recap. Today is March 17th, 2026, and today I took a break even day. And I'm going to walk you guys through it, what happened, what price action looked like, what my daily bias was, and overall where I took my trade. Today I'm going to show you guys my P&L. One of my accounts, actually, I had to close because this account is consistency, unfortunately. So I closed this account, was able to make some profit on it. But all my other accounts that I left running got broke even. Pretty unfortunate. I'm going to walk you guys through. I'm going to go back to overall what I was looking for in the day and where I got my bias overall. So we go to the higher time frames. Let me go ahead and replay this back to open. So today was tricky. Why was today tricky? So overall, I was bullish, right? I was just straight up bullish. Why? Because we were disrespecting bearish order flow. So another thing that I didn't really mention yesterday is why I was bullish yesterday is we were disrespecting bearish structure. So what does that mean? We had this inversion back to the upside on the higher time frames, as well as this structure that we're creating right here. So when I'm looking at the higher time frames, what am I looking for? I'm looking for potential targets, places that we could potentially reject off of, whether it's high time for value gaps, LRL, or all that stuff, and then potentially what I'm targeting, which is my draws and liquidity. So in this instance, going into open, we are right here at this point. So again, we're already coming up and taking out literally everything. So my main objective of draws were taken, except for my initial draw, which is this relative equal high on the 4-hour time frame. This was our 4-hour internal high, which is the main target I was looking to target for the day. And I'm going to show you guys kind of where I took my trade, what happened, and all this stuff. But yeah, that's why I was bullish, is we were literally pretty much just continuing this trend. So again, pretty choppy, but again, what are we creating? We have a high, higher low, higher high, and then technically we broke structure, come back down lower, and we actually disrespected bullish order flow right here. But on when you scale down to the lower time frames, when I say lower, still higher time frames, we're respecting bullish order flow. So you can't just straight up base it off of like the higher time frame, which is the 4-hour, and be like, oh, well, we had that inversion to the downside. I'm short. No, you have to look through all the time frames, and overall, this is bullish. So let's get into it. Where did I take my trades? What was I looking for? And so on. I already said this, but like I was in this trade for so long. I honestly have not been in such shitty PA and bad price action, and I actually had to sit in a trade for this long in a long time. Like, whew. Thankfully I was able to get out of it, right? So I'm also going to teach you guys break even, where I put my break evens at, and like points of rejection where we could potentially reverse off of, and all those things. So I actually stabbed at this twice, but I got the same entry on the second one. So I'll tell you guys here in a sec. So going into open, again, what was I looking to see? I was looking to see some sort of manipulation lower to then continue back higher up to my draws. But what did we do? We just completely ripped. So now this was a trade idea for me. Me personally, I don't like trading this early into open. We had this inversion here, which actually this would have played out to my first draw. But again, I'm not really the type of trader to trade that early into open unless it is literally obvious. And this one was pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Some people did take this in my Discord. I like this trade. But again, super early into open, literally 2 minutes into open. So, and again, like pre-market fair value gaps being inverse when market opens, it could just be manipulation to stop people out. So literally, like that's another rule I say is like 15 minutes going into market open is usually the manipulation, and then we have some sort of distribution to go in the direction the markets actually want to go. But literally the whole day today, it looked like it was just manipulating. We never really got good distribution. So, okay, let's go ahead and play this out. That was a good trade. I like that. But again, we're pretty much just chopping. We actually did have an SMT at this low, which I was super interested. This is once I entered those. So let's go ahead and continue to play this. I'm being super patient here. So this is a 1-minute inversion that actually faded. So why did I fade this? Because we have this inversion. We have literally stacked fair value gaps down below as well. And you can't really take this, right? We could have been delivering off of this, but I would have liked to see this get inversed if I was looking to go short. But again, we still have our main objective up above. Why would I short this? This is just not a good short. For me personally, I was looking for longs, so I did not short this. And again, some people in my Discord did take this, but again, just not the type of trade that I was looking for. So we had this inversion back to the upside, literally barely. Oh no, yeah, we got it pretty good. Like this, realistically, if we were delivering off of something and it was really good, this would have been a good long. But again, with the market structure, you don't long that. So I faded this, continued to watch. Also had equilibrium worked out that I was looking for. Let's gonna play this out. Where to go? 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 Da-da-da. Currently, this was my first draw, but again, this is our manipulation, or sorry, equilibrium. And if we can come down, fill 50%, which is our equilibrium, and then see some sort of bullish reaction, okay, awesome. So I'm gonna show you guys where I actually went bearish for a second. So right here, obviously, you would have long this, you would have gotten smoked, and then we finally got this inversion. So like this was not a bad short. Right here with stops up above, and then probably targeting, some sort of unfilled gap down below, or potentially even, so these two draws down below. But again, not shorting. I was just so bullish. Like it was tough for me to short this, but I did get bearish for a second. Why? Because we inversed this 15-minute. And this was potentially what I was looking for, was for us to respect equilibrium, then get our pullback up higher to these draws. But what did we do? We closed below equilibrium and we inversed this 15. So then I'm like, okay, hang on, I'm bearish. Like my whole bias just swapped, which happens during the day, right? And that's why you don't really marry a bias. So this short realistically was pretty good. But again, just wasn't really like a no-brainer to me because I was literally looking for longs, and we created so much LRL up above. Like this was the most beautiful, obvious long of all time. And I'm gonna show you guys where I took my trade and why I was in this for 40 years. So I don't know what that line is. Oh, that's S&T. So all right, let's continue to play this out. I'm just gonna get to where I took my position. So right here in this instance, we had this 5-minute fair value gap get inversed. So this is honestly was my draw. So if we inverse this 5-minute back to the upside, and we had this SMT right here. Now ES came down and swept this low. So this was a beautiful bullish SMT. NASDAQ was delivering. Again, we did chop for a second, but then, we got this 5-minute inversion. This looked good enough for me to go and long this. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. Jeez. Sorry. And so I entered off of the 5-minute inversion, and this was my break-even line. Why was this my break-even line? Because these are relative equal highs. Of course, this is the lower time frame, so it's not like super important. And honestly, I almost didn't go break-even. So again, let's go ahead and play this out. So I'm break-even here on this one trade. Remember, I took a second one. So I'm break-even. Go ahead and play this out. Choppy price action. Boom. Okay, I'm broke even on this trade so far. So let's continue to play this out. What did we create? I'm going to move this. Sorry. We created this 1-minute fair value gap. What did we do? We inverse this gap. So technically, I did re-enter right here because I'm just so strong about this LRL up above and primarily the top of the range. So again, I could have targeted like my main target, but I wanted to get in and out of this market. I knew that we were choppy, look at previous price action and market structure. So this was a really good target for me. Of course, I could have targeted here, but I like this draw right here. So again, where was my break even again? And I'm gonna show you guys where I got the $500 from, because I already told you guys I had to close it. I closed it on this trade actually. I closed it at this high once we took it, and that was where I made my 500 or a little under $500 on that one account, because consistency. And again, got to do those things, unfortunately. So I let my no consistency accounts run, and these are the ones I got broke even on that first trade. Second trade, let's go ahead and play this out. Boom. Okay, so now I'm break even. Beautiful delivery. Like this is exactly what I want to see. Like I'm like, awesome. Now we could potentially, continue this trend upward. I move my stops at break even. Oops. And awesome. Let's go ahead and continue to play this out. And all this stuff. But again, one of the major things I wanted to see was us break above this high, and then potentially we could have seen, once this got broken, maybe a retest back down to this level, and then we could start seeing higher up to these draws and then this drop above this 4-hour internal high. Where did this not happen? So in this kind of price action, I'm gonna tell you guys really quick. If you're able to identify these things, you don't want to be in this market, right? You don't want to realistically be a part of it where we're just not creating a trend, we're super choppy and all this stuff. So in this first trade, like I just don't like this price action. And how do you identify it's bad price action? Looking at previous market structure. What are we doing? So this whole entire leg, what I wanted to see was this was gonna be our manipulation leg, and then we were gonna get some sort of distribution. Again, I'm not trading the AMD model, but this is what I wanted to see. Accumulation right here, manipulation, distribution. So what did we not get? Our distribution, unfortunately. So again, let's play this out more. Again, I'm in this trade for a fat minute. I'm still not break even. I did not get broke even here. I got edged, but right there. boom, I'm broke even. And again, you can't be upset about these things. You know, it was a great trade idea, really good delivery, and you know these kind of days just happen. So, got to be able to kind of, you know, take this on and get off the charts. Like you don't want to be a part of this stuff. You know, once these kind of situations don't play out and you get broke even or things like that, just get off the charts. Like it's just not very good. So, yeah, I don't even know what we're doing now. So I mean, yeah, I would have gotten destroyed here. So that's the realistically like good point of being able to identify where you can potentially go break even, where price could go reverse off of a reject, and all that stuff. So, you know, at this point, I just identified that we were in terrible PA. And, you know, I was willing to go break even that soon just because of how we were looking and we weren't really distributing towards my draws. So that was my trade recap. If you guys have any questions, ask in the comments. But I'm going to continue to do these. The days I don't take a trade, I won't be doing a trade recap. But today I did take a trade and I want to be transparent with you guys, show you guys my thought process and what I was targeting, you know, how I take my trades and all this stuff. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.